Hey y'all, my name is Amira.
My name's Toso.
I'm Tony.
My name is Jeremiah Rafferty, aka J-Raff or J-Raff Shoots.
My name is Chanel.
I'm here at Nello Vintage with The Avenue. Welcome to The Avenue.
And the theme today is maximalism.
Hi, my name is Toso, and I'm a stylist here in Atlanta. I also coordinate events for all women, and I run a vintage women's shop. I'm going to start off from the top. I'm wearing this Alexander McQueen headscarf. It is 100% silk, and I actually got this at an estate sale. It was the last day, and everything was half off, and I did not think I was going to find anything. And I seen the skulls popping, and I was like, if this is Alexander McQueen, I am going to faint. And it was $2. So yeah, this was something that I will hold dear to me just because it's a good lucky girl syndrome reminder. Next, I have this angel blue top. It's a Japanese brand. I got it from 2nd Street, and I just really like how cutesy it is. Something that really inspires me is Japanese fashion. So I try to always put a Japanese brand on whenever I get ready, just to kind of like bring me into Tokyo. Next, I'm wearing this silk striped button-up shirt. I really love how crazy and asymmetrical and layered, how much like bouncy it has to it. But this is a really good piece. I love wearing it under and over things. Next, I'm wearing this belt that I also thrifted from my favorite thrift store. I'm not going to say the name because I do not want anyone there. Now I have these pants. They're Capital, and they're actually my boyfriend's. But he doesn't mind that I wear his stuff because we are the same size. And then on the shoes, I have these Dolce & Gabbana vintage, kind of like cowboy-esque with these butterflies all over them. Kind of brings like a southern aesthetic to the whole outfit. I also like that I can cuff the pants into the boots. So if I don't want to drag the pants. And then my jacket is my favorite designer. It is Jean Paul Gaultier. And I also thrifted this jacket, so it means a lot to me. I really like how it doesn't go with anything. It's just like a lot of color and it's a lot going on. And I love throwing it on top of like a eccentric outfit. It just like brings it all together. And then for my jewelry, I have these custom Donda Lawrence nails. She calls them marshmallow rings. She just came out with them and she sent me a few to styles. And then the necklaces is a couple of things that are kind of sentimental to me. Me and my boyfriend have the matching necklace. So they're kind of like best friend necklaces. And then I have a Vivienne Westwood necklace and a Chanel necklace that I also thrifted. For my personal style, I get a lot of colors. I try to wear black and try to be that serious, mysterious girl, but I can't. I can't. It kills me. The next day, I'm right back into my old ways. I need colors. So I always get inspired whenever I see Japanese fashion because I do feel like they are good with mixing the perfect combo of colors and mixing the perfect patterns together or the perfect textures. So that's something that's very important to me when it comes to fashion.
My name is Amira Russell. Sometimes I go by Mira. I'm really heavy in secondhand fashion. I have my own organization at Spelman called Secondhand Friends, and I plan to expand it within any community that I travel after I graduate. And right now we're here at Nello Vintage, and I work here, which is super cool. So we're gonna start off obviously with the main event, the glasses. These are Loire glasses. They're double frame, which is really cool, red, and then I would say like a multicolor right here, brown. For my accessories, I have on a 4-in-1 Chloe ring that was gifted to me my first internship in New York. And then this is just like a TJ Maxx bracelet. And then the rest of my outfit is thrifted. So I have on 3 Ralph Lauren polo button downs. And then, of course, I had to rep the set Nello Vintage on the blazer. And then I have like this thrifted tie going on as like a chain, mock chain. And then I have on this long denim maxi skirt that's actually to the back. And the shoes are from a consignment store, I believe in like Decatur, Georgia. Today's look is actually inspired by Chuck Bass from Gossip Girl. I kind of have hair like him right now, and he's always just dressing super fly with his suits. So I would definitely say today's inspiration is Gossip Girl, especially just like that preppiness I love to incorporate in my everyday look. And right now, I know what's really in is like office core. I just really like dressing up preppy, but making it maximalist like today. And I also just really like to just make certain looks just look sexy. So obviously like how I have my shirt unbuttoned, but it's still just like classy and cute. But I also like whimsical styles. Like I like to wear long skirts. I like to put jerseys on, or like as a button downs, or like just wear things I would say that's not typical and just spice it up.
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm a stylist and I also resell vintage. Today I'm wearing this fur. First of all, I just love this fur coat. It's the newest addition to my closet. I got it in London at Primark. Growing up, I was always super surrounded by like furs and just fashion in general. My grandma actually used to work at a fur store as a seamstress, so I always grew up around fur and just loving it. And then the rest is like thrifted. I'm wearing these red jeans with the little like rock star on the back. And then some cheetah boots also from the thrift store. So most of my jewelry today is from like an estate sale, or I work at a wholesale market, so it's like wholesale nice jewelry. I made this charm necklace too with the hearts on it. Whenever I do thrift for my markets to resell, I'm usually looking for like textures I like, colors I like. I don't really go in with a game plan because I try to get like a good mix of everything. My tip for finding good vintage at a good price is definitely going to estate sales, thrift stores, going to markets and supporting small businesses. They always have like really good pieces. And Nello, of course.
What's good, y'all? My name is Jeremiah Rafferty, aka J-Raff Shoots, and I am a full-time freelance photographer. Just looking at the fit from top to bottom, I have this camo hat that I got from a road trip to Chattanooga. I saw it at like a random gas station on the side of the road, and I was like, I have to have it. We have this Harley Davidson jean jacket that I got at a thrift expo. I have this tie that I got from Goodwill. Moving further down, I have this pin by Marcel Zavala Art, my beautiful and talented girlfriend. It's a piece of her artwork. And then I have a chain by a local Atlanta artist. They're very talented. It's Closet Goblin. Moving further down, we have these green corduroy flare pants. I got it from a little known consignment store. I don't know if you've heard of Ragorama. Then I also got these boots from Rag, bag from Rag as well. This is a Chuck E. Cheese wrist bracelet. Actually, I made this with my girlfriend. It's very special to me. Also like thrifted these earrings from Ragorama as well. So as you can tell, a lot of my stuff is secondhand. When it comes to sort of sourcing vintage pieces, I think it's just kind of about the hunt. So if you're into any sort of fashion, I think you really have to love it, because you might be combing through a lot of quote unquote garbage to find, like a diamond in the rough. So I think it's just about the dedication to searching for like a piece that speaks to you. And that's how I've like sourced a lot of my clothes. I've gone to like a lot of thrift stores, a lot of consignment stores, estate sales, just all types of things, to find my own style. You're sampling different pieces of music, different pieces of media, and that's all culminating to the full ensemble, which is your outfit. My style, and then just like style in general, it's all about the journey. I like to look at sort of fashion as like a question and answer kind of thing. What haven't I tried before? How can I put this together based on pieces that I already have. You don't know until you know. With any sort of creative endeavor, really, it's just you're kind of like throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks. And I feel like fashion is no different. You know, you're just trying to figure out and sort of like search within yourself and within the world that you interface with, what makes sense to you as far as like your own creative expression is concerned. And that's why I describe it as like a journey. It's an adventure because you're just trying on different things. You might look back, like I said, 2-3 years ago, it's like, damn, I did not have that shit on at all. You know, I don't know what I was wearing, but it's just a constant learning and growing experience.
My name is Chanel, also known as Nell or Nello, and I am a vintage store owner and vintage curator. So my glasses are thrifted. They're like a 2000s dead stock sunglasses. I'm wearing on my shoulder, my friend here is a vintage mink fox stole. I have a jacket and it's the brand Electra. This dress is also like a Y2K 90s dress, and underneath is a zip sweater, some yellow tights, this wooden purse, and then some platform heels that are also thrifted. My favorite piece of my outfit, it actually is a part of my body right now. Press-on tattoos that I got at a party last night. I went to a SpongeBob themed birthday party, and this just took me back to elementary school. You know, when you got these press-on tattoos, you thought they were so cool. That's the feeling like I love to have when I'm searching for pieces and thrifting. It's just like that nostalgic dopamine hit, and I feel like these tattoos were like the perfect complement with my outfit. I didn't even know that, you know, the yellow tights would tie in with the SpongeBob, and I feel like that's another thing that people should try to embrace, is just picking out things from your childhood or things that you used to love and going back to those times, reclaiming those things. So I feel like thrifting can bring out that inner child and just have you experiment and really indulge in something that is low risk. Like, it doesn't cost too much. When you do find something, I feel like it brings out that joy, and that's how I usually pick out outfits. It's just trying on a bunch of things. That's the number one tip I give to people. It's just try it on. Like, people come to the store, they'll pick it up, look at it on the hanger, and they automatically assume they can't fit it. I'm just like, well, try it on. Like, you literally never know with vintage. I think that's something that brings out your childlike nature, is playing dress up and experimenting. If it doesn't work, look, they're just clothes. Take them off, try something else on. What inspired me to start Nello Vintage? I was inspired by my upbringing and thrifting with my grandmother. I've been thrifting ever since I could remember, and thrifting has always been a part of me and my life and has allowed me to explore my style, and I've extended that into what I do with Nello Vintage, whether that's styling, DJing, hosting events. I feel like a lot of Nello and what I do is inspired from my upbringing and experiences with community and family, and I just love creating those type of feelings for people. I feel like I've created community through Nello, and I've created spaces that I would like to see in the world. And that has only been done by me continuing to explore myself and explore what I love, and realizing that other people appreciate that and can see it as well. So in creating community, I feel like it's easy when you know like who you are in a sense and are okay with, you know, sharing that with other people. It just gravitates that same energy back to the spaces that you want to continue to create.
When I hear someone say maximalist style, I think of no rules. You can't say no. Everything is a yes. Like, put on a hat on top of this, it's a yes. It's gonna look good, you know. Put a skirt on top of this. Honestly, that would probably eat. So, want to play it unsafe. Actually, the more unsafe, the better. And if people look at you and they feel uncomfortable, that's even better.
I would definitely say maximalism is just using like all the things in your head and just meshing them all together. So like every idea, every concept, and sometimes the colors don't have to go. It's literally just thinking about like how crazy can I look today? Crazy in a good way though. So like putting different patterns together, different colors that aren't typical that would go together and just going to the max.
Maximalism for me is a form of therapy in a way. I feel like maximalism is your chance to be fearless and defy the rules, the labels, whatever society is telling you to do and act at the time. Maximalism, I feel like, is a tool to have an outlet with your style and not think too much about the structures or how it looks or the rules of styling and fashion.
I would describe maximalism in a fashion sense of like being abundant, just a lot of colors, patterns, texture mixes, just having fun with your outfit and doing the most.
I think the idea of maximalism is just about not having any sort of boundaries or any sort of like limitations on what can go together. I think there is a demographic of people that have a very limited scope on what you can wear and what pieces you can put together. So seeing people that are like really heavy into maximalism, really inspiring because they're so liberated because they're not limited in their scope of what pieces kind of correspond with each other. They like how certain things mesh together or certain things clash, and I think it's a very beautiful and liberating thing to see.